love me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah.
Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sip of my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture, I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Yeah, the Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Job, that's my brother, you know we moving tack. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick shit, Tower music, nigga. Go.
Yo, top of the top. Y'all know the hustle don't stop. We got Joff in the building. You know what he said? He said, lost your job, Tiger? No good. Salute to the chat, nonetheless. Nah, that was in July. That was in July, Joff. I lost my job July 1st. July 1st. Fucking with a company that didn't appreciate the God. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yo, shout out to everybody in the building. I don't think y'all be listening to that song, man. Streets have never loved us. Joff in the building. I'm telling you, I don't think niggas been listening to what General Deezy be saying. You dig what I'm saying? I don't think they be listening to what these brothers be saying, man. He said, niggas try to take my life. I couldn't tell you who. Oh, shit. He said, niggas might die tonight. I'm here to speak the truth. Yo, that's different, y'all. That is totally different. Shout out to the whole Brown boys. You dig what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go follow Joff. Go get them albums. That shit is streaming on every platform. All you got to do is type in Joffe, Top Tiger, General Deezy. That shit gonna start flooding in. Yo, if y'all hear me, crystal clear, anybody but a dead body, just do me a favor. Put some dice cubes in the chat if I can shout everybody out. Word up. Oh, yo, Joff. You already know that. You already know that. The company was, first of all, the company was originally based on allegations of slavery. This is a long final. Like, but anyway. Thank you, East New York. She said, yo, crystal clear. So matter of fact, let me shout everybody out that's in the building. Let me shout everybody out. Thank you, Seven. Seven was the first one to pop in the building. I see the sisters in the building. Kev Jones, I see you. Y'all already know the top Tiger Joff is in the building. Dog Soldier is here. East New York is in the building. Who else we got up in the building, y'all? Who else we got up in the building? Who else we got up in the building? The BUILDING. You dig what I'm saying? Mr. I Think for Myself just popped up. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Like I said, if y'all ain't see the first show, this is part 2. I did part 1 July 1st. It was called I Lost My Job. Now, the crazy part is God is so good. You know what I'm saying? Whether we get the victory or not, God is still good. We wake up every day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people waking up dead. You dig what I'm saying? We're waking up free. You're waking up knowing who you are. Like my grandmother used to work in Kings County Hospital. She said, yo, you know that G building is full of people that's crazy. That was the psychiatric ward. She said, baby, it's people that wake up sometimes and don't even know who they are. She said, it's people that wake up and don't even know when it's time for them to go move their bowels, when it's time for them to go urinate. So they're walking around with human life-size Pampers on them, baby, like they're babies. This is all facts. Hey, Tanja. So the blessings is all blessings. You understand what I'm saying to you? But before we get into anything, y'all remember, I'm Sharon fucking McLeod's son. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm Fred McLeod, and I'm Edna McLeod grandson. You dig? I don't just fall off no apple. You understand what I'm saying? I don't fall off no apple tree. You know what I'm saying? My shit was conserved. I was thought, I was planned. I was loved into existence. You dig? It's a difference. I wasn't people getting drunk. And then it's Thursday night, you got drunk, you woke up with the person Friday morning, you went back to sleep with them Friday, you woke up with them Saturday morning, you ain't call them for about a month and a half, and they call you back and be like, yo, I'm pregnant. Now, I ain't come from that. I come from courting. I come from, long conversations, walks, rides in the cars, walks holding hands, aspirations, dreams, everything told upon each other and passed down and passed on. So I come from something totally different, you dig? But before I get into this, I want to talk about this one particular thing I want to talk about before I get into this situation with my job. I want to get into something like this. I think this might go out to be the most powerful, one of the most powerful men in our time. All praises due to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praises due to this man. Let me tell you something about this individual right here. I have family members that hate for me to speak his name. You know what I'm saying? They totally have judged his character. Like when you see him here, he seems like he's in an empathetic pose where he's trying to get across to people. But right here, it seems like it's a more furious pose because he is not afraid. He's not afraid. Shout out to the whole Nation of Islam and the FOI. He's not afraid. He's not afraid. You understand? But then they didn't see these type of pictures for him when he was so much younger. When he said he wrote the book Trials to try to help develop our faith in God. And they overlooked him also when he spoke up for Kanye West. Y'all know when Kanye West apparently had the mental breakdown on TV and started blaming himself for his mom's death and started saying certain allegations about people in the industry. Y'all remember all this? But then when Farrakhan came to the light and spoke about it, he said he's witnessing a man that has been overexposed and has simply got to the fact where he is confused. He has no one else he knows that he can trust. That's a fact. He don't know anybody else he can trust. We were supposed to go to the Million Man March. You don't want to hear the story. If you really went, matter of fact, if you remember the first Million Man March, you remember it was a lot of stores and a lot of churches that did a scam on people that paid their money to go to the Million Man March, and it was just a scam. I can do a show on that too. Well, the reason why I want to talk about this man right quick before I get into what's going on with my job and my outcome, because I had my hearing. I had my unemployment hearing. The reason why I want to talk about this man is because of this object right here. Everybody know it, right? Everybody know what this is, right? The AI-3 Atlas, the A13, whatever they call it. Yo, that's the cold blood. Yo, all jokes aside, I'm going to do a show on that shit now. I'm going to start thinking for myself. I'm going to do a show on that shit just because you brought it up. Well, like me and about maybe 33 people that I know, we all got beat. We all got beat. We all got beat. And it was out of a church out of Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. We all got beat. We all got beat. We all got beat. And we should have known it was too good to be true because the original tickets were supposed to be $100, but they had the tickets for $75. Food and everything. This is a cold-blooded fact. But see this atlas right here? You see this atlas right here that everybody been talking about? Everybody here is aware of this AI atlas that's been going on? That's supposedly moving towards Earth? There's all type of speculations. Some saying it's part of Project Blue Beam. Some say it's part of Project Blue Beam. Sir Valentino, I see you in the building. Some say it's part of Project Blue Beam. And then some say this is the reason why Project Blue Beam, which is allegations of something that was just put together to put holograms in the sky to make people of all different religions and faiths believe that their savior is coming back. They said this is the actual reason why the government has put that whole thing into effect, allegedly. My man said that's he said imagine 1 million plus men. 1 million plus men saying I am someone. Well, Mr. Louis Farrakhan, this very intelligent brother right here, has been speaking about this AI Atlas for years. Do your research on it. Go ahead and type in Minister Farrakhan talking about AI Atlas 3 so many years ago. He said that it's a combination of a mothership. It's a combination of a city that only Elijah Muhammad spoke about. He said it's a mechanism that consists of 1,500 different astronomical propellers on this type of spaceship. He said that this thing could stop at a dime, it can reverse, it can go left, it can go right, it can travel slowly, and it can take off at the speed of light. He said it's a civilization. It's a civilization of the creators. If anybody's paying attention, Minister Louis Farrakhan been talking about this for over 20 years. Like I try to tell people when it comes to the Quran, when they get upset because they say that the Quran doesn't acknowledge, or some people have this misinterpretation that the Quran doesn't express the importance of Jesus. And that's a total untruth. See, that's a total untruth. See, what Islam is, Jesus was one of the prophets. Jesus was a prophet that walked around and preached and taught the gospel. Gandhi was a prophet. David was a prophet. Anybody that knows the forecoming of not living righteous, indulging in sin. Islam, we just believe that Elijah Muhammad was the last prophet to ever come to earth. We don't know the reason why. Sometimes they say save the best for last. God see you in the building, but we believe Elijah Muhammad was the last prophet that God sent to earth. Yo, China, put it in the fucking comment section. Yo, shout out to China Brim, y'all. Shout out to fucking China Brim, y'all. All jokes aside, shout out to China fucking Brim. Yo, China, I don't know if you seen that BDB show when he was talking about Gat murder. They used to be on the Math Hoffa show. The nigga Gat said, when it comes to China Brim, he said, when old boy put that cowboy hat on, put it in the comment section. He said the dude is entertaining. He said he gotta fuck with shit like that. This nigga China got 50 cents. Curtis Jackson, 50 cents on a private plane mocking China. Put it in the comment section. He gone. It's only a matter of time. He is gone. It's only a matter of time. Congratulations to you, man. Shout out to Miss Miyagi. Shout out to the whole 050. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's a fact. The nigga Gat said when it come to China, shout out to BDB for that interview. Because like I said, Gat, official nigga from Bed-Stuy. Shout out to Bills and them niggas from Jackie Robinson. He said some of the realest shit on that show. He said what he don't like about YouTube is how niggas could just lie on a person and they jack that. He said him personally, if a nigga say SMD or start talking about my moms, he said we ain't going past that. He said, but sometimes niggas say some dumb shit and then they have to get around each other and be like, nah, son, I was way out of fucking pocket. Because sometimes this internet just propels people to go crazy. Well, back what I was saying about Farrakhan. All these years ago, he was talking about this new thing that everybody is at an awe about and the world is talking about, that supposedly that's coming here with a different civilization that's supposedly coming back to get the star seeds and everything, XYZ. Let me explain something to you. He's going to pop this, see aggression, humble, concern. It's three different emotions. But this man has been talking about this object that allegedly is running straight towards us, that just passed Mars, that could stop at it could just stop at a dime. It could just stop out of nowhere, like a basketball player about to do a crossover. It can Allen Iverson. It could just stop and go left. It can stop and go right. It can disappear. It can go high. It can go low. It can take off in a light speed. This right here is going to be something to pay attention to. This is going to be something to pay attention to. Like I said, when Kanye West went through his situation, he was the first one there to show aid and tell him that the man was having more than a physical breakdown. He was having a spiritual breakdown. Sometimes you got to get in touch with God. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm going to get into this conversation that happened because this is part 2, y'all. I did part 1. Remember I told y'all I lost my job July 1st. To this second right now, I'm not even going to tell you why I lost my job, but I'm going to tell you why they said that I lost my job. But see, this is why I be trying to tell people. There were a couple of times, y'all, where I had some great jobs. I'm not going to front. God forgive me for what I'm about to say, but I got to be truthful. There was a couple of times that I've had some great jobs. I'm talking about beautiful employment, financially straight, rubbing elbows with certain individuals that might have propelled me and my family, et cetera, et cetera. But once you put your hands on me, or once you threaten to do something to me, at that particular time, I did not have the self-control that I have now. And I'm going to show and prove with that. I'm going to bring the proof to that. When I first moved to North Carolina, I did not have the self-control or the discipline to differentiate how we act in the street coming up, because we products of our environments, as opposed to how we're supposed to act in a workplace. Yo, Tribe, where you been at, son? He said real aliens would let us stew in our own real aliens would let us stew in our own juices of ignorance until we are toast, and then they move in. Like I said, y'all, as opposed to how I grew up in the street, how somebody may said something to me, or I might have said something to somebody that they may have misinterpreted or really interpreted as they should, as disrespect, and certain things erupt pertaining to violence. Check this out. 2 times, I know, quote unquote, I was not supposed to motherfucking ever go back to a job. If a person is in my presence and touches me, and I grab him by his throat and slam him into the combo of meat, I know there is no reason for me to try to be filing for unemployment. I know there's no reason for me, after knowing I am terminated, have no reason to be filing for unemployment. Then, if someone is arrogantly pay attention, because the people that go to work, they know how to manipulate the system, as opposed to someone coming from the street having my own time frame to go to work, my own way of thinking, my own interpretations, my own aggression. Yo, Bronze, see you, baby, salute. Them dudes that been at work, see, they know how to get rid of someone that they may feel intimidated by. See, the workplace is much more dangerous than the street. See, because human resources, that's motherfucking the police. That's human let me explain something to you. You think it's rats in the street? It's rats at work. See, let me rewind that. In the streets, we call somebody that tells on somebody for doing something of criminal activity a rat or a snitch. Let me get my mind frame back. When it comes to the workspace, if something happens that's against company regulations or company rules, this means doing your job and being an adult. So, for example, if I punch somebody in the fucking face in the street and somebody just go, yo, I just seen Dice punch somebody in the face in the street, some might take that as, yo, that's snitching, that's ratting. But yo, if I punch somebody in the face at a work that I came and clocked into at another employer, that's going to be perceived as an assault. So when they have a group of people like human resources that will be informed by your supervisor, your operations manager, your lead, whatever it is, that will tell them what went down, pay attention. Everybody that was around that area will be called in for their statement. See, when you go to jobs like down here in the South, you can say, I refuse to write a statement, and they can't say nothing to you. But it's a bunch of people that do not write, I refuse to write a statement. There are a bunch of people that are going to give their accountability to what they actually saw or perceived that went down and took place, whether it's for you or against you. Okay, cool. So them 2 times, when I lost them jobs, I did not file for no unemployment, y'all. Them 2 times, when I lost my job, I did not file for no unemployment. You know another reason why I didn't file for no unemployment? Because I know now that I did not handle things the way that I was supposed to. And it's so fucked up that a lot of us men that have been raised in the street, we have been pre-programmed in a fucked up program, man. Like that trap shit that they talk about now, I really understood that shit a long time ago, when you trap in the same mentality of no involvement and you feel as though your way is the right way, disregarding whether it's against the law or may hurt somebody else's feelings or endanger somebody else's life. When you start taking accountability like an adult for your wrongs, certain things I don't play with. It was no need for me to go to nobody and say, yo, can I get unemployment? A nigga said he was going to do something to me, and I told him, I quote, in my time, I'd have broke his jaw. I didn't say it to him. I said it to somebody else. I said, in my time, he'd have talked to me like that in the street, I'd have broke his jaw. Somebody in the lunchroom, pay attention, somebody in the lunchroom overheard me say that. Somebody that was not even sitting at the lunch table with me when I was talking to my man. Somebody that was sitting in the lunchroom that to this day, motherfucking Walmart has never told me who it was. They called me to Walmart one day. I'm going to keep it funky with you. They said, Mr. McLeod, we got a complaint. I said, a complaint about what? She said, sit down. I just want to talk to you about something. So check this out. This is real facts, East New York, but I didn't go for no unemployment for this one. Check the story out. Check this out. She said, an employee said that they overheard you making a threatening statement about one of our managers. No, I ain't getting no ankle monitor. I ain't getting no ankle monitor. You know what them niggas slapped me with? Them niggas told me to go home pending an investigation. Did they fire me? No. They asked me, what did I remember? They asked me, did I say anything in a threatened mannerism? I said, no, I did not. Pay attention. They told me, we're not going to fire you. We're going to do an investigation. This was on a Tuesday. They said, but during your investigation, you're still employed, so we are obligated to pay you. When it came to that Friday afternoon, I got a phone call from Human Resources. Human Resources said, we are just calling to inform you that today you have been terminated from Walmart. Did I go to unemployment and say, yo, I want some money? Yo, Chief, I see you. White Castle's in the building. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And the reason why, I didn't tell Human Resources that I said that about him, but I knew in my heart I did. You know, it's just certain street about me, I'm just going to keep to me, you know. In my heart, I knew I said what I said. So when somebody overheard me speaking to my man, and they took it in their heart where they quote unquote thought something was wrong with what I said, because unfortunately, a lot of people in the South, they have this strange perception about everybody from New York. They got this strange description. They think we're mean, we're gangsters, or we're killers, we can't be talked to. But unfortunately, you want to hear some funny shit? Because of the aggression that we were raised in, which is actually normal to us to look at somebody and pay attention to them while they're watching you, as opposed to when you get to North Carolina, somebody will think you're trying to harm them. So our deliverance can sometimes be deemed be harmful for us. So check this out. Did I ever go and ask for unemployment? No, I did not. No, I did not. My man Kev said, at my company, sometimes we let people go for horrible offenses and they still apply for benefits. Laugh out loud. Now check this out. Check this out. So if you know about this type of management, pay attention. I'm going to read this to you. Notice of hearing. In the matter of appeals docket, such and such a employer, House of Rayford, claimant, DeMar McLeod. Check this out. This is my charges, Kev. First charge, left work without good cause attributable to the employer, GS 96/14.5, abbreviations A. That's one charge. My second charge was discharged for misconduct connected to work. Docket number GS 9614.6, apostrophes A, apostrophes B, and apostrophes C. Now check out the last charge, Kev. Is unemployed within the meaning of the law. It didn't even say what the law was. It just said GS 96/15.01. So when y'all get a chance to take a little break, I'm gonna show y'all something. Why personally, this time, I had to go for my unemployment.
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds I'm cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes, like was that smart? Now they uploading their clothes on the Poshmark. Swiss baby, careful with this. I mean, this bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like, high from who? Bound to put your car on skates. You think you sliding through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The street said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
Yo, my nigga Kev is really into this motherfucking shit. Kev is in the human resources. Shout out to you, brother. East New York, she said, yo, Dice, check this out. You know I fuck with you and everything, but it sounds like you need a lawyer, beloved. Kevin said, a lot of the hearings depend on whose desk it comes across. The BS is so, hold on. A lot of the hearing depends on who the desk it comes across. To be so random, if you ever let someone go do the downsizing, it don't contest unemployment. So that means, quote unquote, if you have too many people employed at a job and they feel as though that they are overpaying because they have a certain salary or something like that, that they don't want to peak, especially with the overtime and everything, they have the right in some states to let you go. 7 said, yo, Dice, a lawyer is definitely needed. My man Kev said, your stance should be you weren't given any warnings, and your offense isn't egregious. And a standard question they asked me on the other end is, has the employee be warned regarding to this offense? So see, check this out. We got a couple of people in here saying, yo, Dice, check this out. You fucked up. My man Kev is really in human resources. He said, in your state, is it at will state you can only sue if you were fired for discriminational purposes? If it is, then they can let you go without just cause. They can't let you go without just cause. All right, let me put y'all on what's going on. I had an incident with a young man 2 months prior to this. For some reason, one of the young guys that, they give him his, they give him his, how can I say it? They give him so many ropes to hang himself. Number one, we have a point system of 8. At the time of the incident, he had 14 points. So that's another reason why. Why was I even allowed to go through an incident with someone that was over the allotted amount of points? Because he rode with the supervisor. Because him and the supervisor was marijuana buddies. That's a cold-blooded fact, because him and the supervisor were friends. That's why he had 14 points and he wasn't terminated. When I got my promotion into a machine operator where I started spinning combos, this is an area that wasn't really illuminated with too much cameras. So a lot of dudes used to go back there and be on their phones and everything like that with the dude prior to me getting the promotion. You know what I'm saying? He used to allow that shit. Y'all already know I'm from Utica Avenue. I'm acting like I got a pack on me. I don't need nobody around me. Y'all not coming back here with your cell phones. Y'all niggas not coming back here fucking with none of this bullshit. I don't need no help. I don't want nobody standing around me. I come outside. Young boy starts talking some crazy shit about, do I got a problem with him? I said, if I had a problem with you, you'd have been knew it. Kept walking. He young. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. We just get off work. He started talking about, check this out, dog. He starts saying he going to get his gun. So when he say he going to get his gun, I follow him to get his gun. But he don't have no gun. But he don't have no gun, dog. He run into another nigga And when he run into the other dude saying, yo, let me get your gun, the other dude is like, hold up. You fucking with New York? Nah, I ain't in that shit. I'm not giving you nothing. So look how God always has people surrounded by angels, because if it could have been totally different, as opposed to if the dude that he was running to get a firearm wasn't really one of my little mans already, it could have turned out totally different. He could have gave him the firearm. You dig what I'm saying? And I could have been shot. Monday we come to work. Check this out. His friend, the supervisor, says, yo, we going to HR. I said, what we going to HR for? He said, I heard about the incident between you and such and such. I said, yo, I ain't worried about that shit. He said, nah, man. He said, I'm getting tired of him. He said, I'm getting tired of him. I heard he was talking about guns and he threatened you. I said, yo, I'm from Brooklyn, man. It ain't the first time somebody threatened me. That's exactly what's my answer, y'all. We get up in HR, the human resources manager, he's calm, he's cool. This particular time, he's like in a different attitude with me because one of the managers, you know what I'm saying, has always spoke highly about me and my work ethic. You dig? Yo, Vibe, salute, boy, I see you. So he said, yo, can you tell me what happened? I said, tell you the truth, it ain't nothing. He just had some little heat he wanted to get off his chest. He just had some heat he wanted to get off his chest. He said, what's this I'm hearing about a gun? What's this I'm hearing about a gun and him threatening you? I said, yo, man, first of all, everybody talk all day. You dig what I'm saying? I said, if it was about really something happening to me, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. He said, did you ever see a gun? No, I ain't see no gun. He said, this is going to be an investigation. No problem. I told him I'm not even worried about it. That's on Utica Avenue. I told the man straight up and down, and if he watching this, he know I'm not lying. I told him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not even worried about that, man. He said, nah, but that's kind of serious. If people talking about guns and firearms, I said, respectfully, I done been from hell and back, and smiled and walked right out the office and went back to work. So now 2 months later, we go to break like around 11:30. We go to break like around 11:30, y'all. You can go to the first part one. You're gonna see I'm not telling no lies. You can't remember a lie. You can remember the fucking truth. About maybe 11:26, 11:25, I go through the cordial to go holler at one of the security guard friends, because we be going to the restaurant around the corner called Southern Bliss. They got a mean burger around there, you know, mom and pop spot, smothered steak hamburgers, all fly type shit, steak cheeses, all cool. Make a long story short, the same individual that was running his mouth 2 months prior walked up and said, yo, why this pussy nigga back here? I can't make this up, y'all. Yo, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. The nigga looked me up and down and said, why this pussy nigga back here? So I look at my man, the supervisor, and the supervisor look at me. I start laughing. So my man, shout out to my nigga Fly Guy Vi, Risky Humphreys. He was like, yo, boy, why you always playing with niggas like that, boy? Because niggas know, like hand to hand, he can't do nothing with me. And the dude is a little, his mental is a little altered anyway. So by the grace of God, my man Fly Guy Ty got in front of him, was like, yo, boy, you need to stop playing with niggas like that. And then my man, the supervisor, was like, yo, man, go holler at Toby. I'm getting tired of this nigga. So what I did is I went to the plant operations manager, somebody I've known for about 15 years, that at one particular time I took him honestly to be a friend. The same person that made me take 6 weeks out of my life to go down to Georgia to help train employees how to efficiently do their job in a plant that they bought. I told him, I said, yo, check this out, boy. This is the second time y'all got this little nigga running around here talking about guns and all that. I'm talking to him just like I'm talking to y'all, because this is what I told you. I considered him as a friend. We spoke about things that I would never repeat, that I'd never repeat. Rest in peace to my nigga Bishop. So I tells him, I said, this is the second time y'all got this little nigga running around playing about guns and all that. I said, the sad part is, man, we all got motherfucking guns. I said, my guns is legal. I have legal firearms. I said, but I don't come to work to use no fucking guns. I come to work my machine and go home. Operations and manager tells me, yo, I'm getting tired of this nonsense. Go talk to Dustin. Because he has the Walkman that he can automatically shoot there and tell Dustin what's going on before I get to the human resources office. So when I first get to the human resources office, you got to get buzzed in. And first of all, the shout out to the two women, the receptionists that's in the front. They know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them for doing an outstanding job, because if it's something pertaining to points or paperwork or doctor's notes, et cetera, you know, minute shit, they handle their thing, get people in and out of there. They've been doing it for a long time. They do their thing. But when it comes to things that's minor, you have to go to the human resources manager, cat by the name of Dustin. You dig what I'm saying? I'm talking about good old boy, redneck, just a good old boy. I'm talking about redneck. I'm talking about making their way the only way they know how. You can look it dead in his eyes. He's so whitey red. So when I go to ask to speak to him, they tell me he was in a very important meeting. So now it's about 11:30. It's time for us to go to lunch. So I purposely waited to after my lunch period. Because I was going right back to human resources. But they beat me to the punch. When we when the lunch, everything stopped and everybody started getting dressed. When I get up, one of the security guards say, yo, Dice, you know they want to holler at you in HR. When I get to human resources, the man is in there with a look on his face, all jokes aside, and that's on my mother's grave. I told the adjudicator this. I said, I've never been one to be, you know, interacting with HR or anything bad, you know. When I had my COVID that I caught out there, you know, I gave him my doctor's note. When I had to take my dog for the when she got into the poison ovary, you know, I don't really deal with HR. I said, so it was only 2 times I seen him. The first time when the incident happened in the parking lot, and this time. So now the second time that he see me, he's blood red. Just Eric, I see you. The nigga looks at me, y'all. All jokes aside, he was like, yo, you fired. I said, excuse me? He said, you fired. I said, fired for what? He said, for what I told you. I said, what did you tell me? The dude said he told me the next time that me and the individual that I got into the incident with had another incident, that we would both be fired. May I never hug my mother again. May she get thrown out of heaven. May God take her away from being an angel. I was never, ever told anything like that. That man looked at me and said, yo, I'm going to keep investigating this. He said, you sure you all right? I said, I'm dead good, man. I smirked at him and left. So make a long story short, I said, so can you at least tell me why am I being terminated? He said, you said you had a gun. I said I had a gun. So now he's not talking to me. He's talking at me. He's like, yo, what did you tell Toby you said? The nigga sounded like he in a monster movie or something like that. Like his face is turning red. He's sitting behind a desk. It's like he really want to stand up and like talk to me crazy. But I'm thinking the only reason why he didn't stand up like that because of my demeanor and my size. And I guess the way he looking at me like, yo, I'm like, yo, you good? He was like, you said you had a gun. I said, I didn't say I had a gun. I said, do you even want to hear my side of the story? He said, I actually don't. I said, do you even want to hear my side of the story that a supervisor was standing right there from the beginning it happened to when he instructed me to go to the plant operations manager? He said, I really don't. He said, I already fired him. I'm tired of both of y'all. Get out of here. I said, first of all, I never said I had a gun. He said, what did you say to Toby? I said, I went to Toby and I told him this is the second time that y'all got this little dude running around talking about what he's going to do with his guns. I said, we all have guns. I said, my guns are legal firearms. I don't have guns at work. That's not what guns are for. I come to spin my machine, do my job, and go home. He said, that's why you fired them. NG, baby! That's my word. He said, that's why you're fired. How you feeling, Angie? You feeling better? Prayers still going out to you to get better, you and your sons. So he says to me, yo, you fired. And then he instructs the security guard to walk me back to the cubicle in the corner where I was sitting under the camera waiting to go see the guy in human resources. East New York said, did you get in touch with a? Of course I got in touch with a wrongful termination lawyer. But I had to wait for me to actually, it was already introduced to me. It was already introduced to me. So pending the outcome of the case, it's just a phone call to find out what should be done next. I get my bags, come outside, and I go home. I call unemployment. You know, you got to wait the first week, and then first week in a hole, and then they'll pay you 2 weeks, or the third week they'll pay you all in one. I get the letter saying denied. So you telling me after 14 months of working, you sent me away for 6 weeks out my life to go help people in another company that you bought to make your company look, you mean to tell me you denied me for unemployment? Now I told y'all the first 2 times I ain't deserve no unemployment. I didn't deserve no unemployment because I didn't act like an employee. See, this is content right here. See, this is the difference between being in the street and being at a job. So now you're telling me because I followed the rules, because I went to human resources and alerted someone about a problem that was erupting. You mean because you didn't fire him because y'all have favoritism to certain employees? You mean you because he had 14 points that he was never supposed to be there on July 1st to even have an incident, confrontation, et cetera, with me. So you tell me I'm fired. So you tell me I'm fired for leaving work without good cause attributable to the employer. See, you know that's where they fucked up. If I left work, why would I stay at the job at lunchtime to wait to leave? We don't get paid for lunchtime. And if I left the job, pay attention, why did the security guard come to the table and tell me, yo, Dice, they're ready to see you in HR? Are y'all staying with me? Because left work without good cause attributable to employer. Then it says, was this discharge for misconduct connected to work? GS 9614.6, abbreviations A, B, and C. But see, you know where they fucked up there too? At my job, it stipulates in paperwork in human resources, if you are attacked, if someone is the aggressor in a violent action towards you, you have the right to defend yourself and you will not be terminated upon investigation. The last one, they just said is an unemployed within the meaning of the law, GS 96/15.01. Okay, so cool. I appeal that. You're not gonna tell me that I get up every morning at 5:30, make sure everything right with my dog, get myself together, get me something to eat, and be at your job by 7 o'clock, and sometimes work past the time every day. You're not gonna tell me because of a virus, that outbreak that went in that job that infected me. You're not gonna tell me that you looked at me in such a morale importance when other plant operations managers came from the other company. You insisted, you came and pulled me away from my job and had me shake the hands of all the bosses of bosses, and you told them about my excellence and my contribution to this fucking company. Yo, dog, see, they fucked up, dog. See, they fucked up, dog. Dog, this on my mother's grave. Yo, listen to me. You ask anybody at the house of Rayford if the plant operations manager didn't come to get Big Dice and tell him, yo, come here. And have me walk and talk to one of the biggest plant operation managers in Georgia by the name of Lamar from the Georgia plant. And he said, yo, this is Big Dice. And then he introduced me to a lady named Sheila. She said, they've been talking about me to this plant before they even came to the plant. The big dogs came to the back to meet me because I get busy with that knife. I was one of the most dangerous shoulder cutters out there. I'm talking about when I had my own line. Shout out to City Bama. He'll tell you this. Shout out to City Bama to be in here every night. That's who worked with me. Ask him how I ran line 7. Ask him if people did not argue. Yo, listen to what I'm saying to y'all. If I'm lying, man, I never hug my mother again. People used to get to my line 15 minutes, 20 minutes early because certain people would like to get to the line exactly in time for the line to start. And people would tell me, yo, Dice, I just want to be on your line because I knew how to treat people. You're not going to tell me I'm giving you a yield of 3%. You're not going to tell me you're going to deny me my unemployment. You're not going to tell me when we built this company from when the company burnt down and we built this company from construction when you chose me and other dudes like Treetop and Dre and Hollywood and Juno and China. When you chose us individuals that were working there, you said, you're going to make sure we get our employment. And then the first operations with cutting birds, I was on that line. I was there when we threw away 60,000 pounds of motherfucking chicken because we just wanted to make sure the dynamics of the line was running without any hiccups. So if there any was hiccups, that's what the maintenance was finally there for, to get paid, to understand what they would have to adjust. This is actual facts. So you're not going to tell me the history and the impression that I got on you when you got the owners of the plant that know my name, when you got the owners of the Wallace plant that when they see me, they stop in their tracks and walk up on me and hug me and be like, Big Dice, what's good? You're not going to tell me I don't deserve my unemployment. You're not going to tell me that I don't deserve my unemployment. You're not going to tell me I came to work every day and on Saturdays. More Saturdays than we ever signed up for. But you're not going to tell me that I shouldn't get my unemployment for handling the way business that the paperwork says to handle it. If there's a problem, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to bring it to your what? Your supervisor's attention. If your supervisor feels as though it's over their head, pay attention. The supervisor tells you to do what? Take it to the operations manager, because the operations manager has to find out if it's that detriment to go to human resources, because usually when you go to human resources, this comes from what? Termination being wrote up of 3 days. So if the operations manager tells me to go to human resources and speak my claim, I'm doing everything that y'all told me to do on your manual. But I'm getting fired. What are you firing me for? Are you firing me because you have decided to go against everything God tells you? And you hire a group of individuals that are shortcoming from coming home from doing horrific things to people pertaining to sexual misconduct. When you interact, when you slowly but surely hire people for cheap labor, just for a job to be done, for production to be made, for money to be made, disregarding that these people have hurt women and children and young boys. Is that why you fired me? Because I was bold enough to come talk to the managers about certain people telling me how uncomfortable. I mean, certain women. Shout out to my El Salvadorian, my Haitian women, my Hispanic women, my chicks from the hood that was telling me, Dice, We don't want to work with niggas that was known for raping women. We don't want to be around dudes that's known for raping children. These dudes is making us uncomfortable. You can't talk to somebody about something, Dice? Is that why y'all was upset with me? Seriously, is that why y'all was upset with me? Is y'all upset with me because I looked at the top dogs just like they was me? Because number one, that was nothing to them. And what I was doing was something more important, but nothing to me as far as financially. Them niggas got to wait 12 months to make 100,000. We used to do that shit a month. We used to run through that shit a month, 40 days and all that type shit. Them niggas had to sell their souls forever to get what they thought they needed to be validated as somebody important. But we had to go through blood, sweat, and tears. So you niggas is going to respect me just as much as I respect y'all. I respect y'all because y'all took it the other way that I ain't have the patience or the self-control to take. I ain't taking the manipulation of the parents that was telling me to go to school and college and all that and enterprising and manipulating that like y'all did. They had kickstarts. These is billionaire families. They got kickstarts. So you mean to tell me you fired me on July 1st? And then you tell me you're going to give me a hearing October the 28th. So my unemployment for all those weeks, they're there, but they're not going to be given to me. They're just going to be put in a stash just in case pertaining to my claim, because if I'm found right, they owe me all that money. But if the employer is found right, I just get a, yo, check this out. We'll give you the answer. July 1st, y'all wait till July 29th to deny me for my unemployment. So you just took that month away from me. You took the week in a whole, and you took 3 weeks because it kept saying in progress, in progress. That's what it said down here, in progress. Because there was no determination. But then they said, you know what? We're going to deny this nigga. We're going to deny him. But see this? Let me show y'all something right quick. I don't play when it comes to God. Look at this. You see what it says? The appeals docket, the employee of the House of Rayford Farms, the claimant, that's my telephone number that's blocked out. You see, was blocked out. Yo, dog, if you pay attention, I blocked out my cell phone number, but you see my number is 910. It says the claimant telephone number is 910. Can y'all tell me what it says for the employee's phone number? The employer phone number? Read correctly. My number, the claimant, 910, blaza, 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 rock and roll, 20 taco. The employer number, can y'all pay attention to what that says? Can y'all read that out for me? I'm going to tell you what it said. That's a fact, East New York. It says no number. Pay attention, y'all. Let's work. It says no number. My number is on the top. The claimant, the employer says no number. After this work, we're going to get into this. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Now look how God worked. Look how God worked. My hearing was October the 28th at 1:30 p.m., which was Tuesday that just passed. Phone fully charged. Took it off the charger like 125. Phone is fully charged because I know they actual. When they punctual. And it automatically stipulated if I am not there, I'm gonna read it out to you. It says, I quote, if your telephone number is not listed or is incorrect, you must contact the appeals referee prior to the scheduled start time of the hearing and provide the correct telephone number. Failure to do so may result into you not receiving a call. Y'all heard that? It may resort into me not receiving a call, meaning if the number I gave them wasn't accurate, it wasn't their job to reach out to me. Now pay attention to this. At 1:33, because the man called at 1:31, at 1:33, 1:34, he said, Mr. McLeod, first thing I want to say to you is there's a problem. He said, the first problem is I don't have a number to get in touch with your employer. They did not put a number down. Pay attention to it, y'all. They did not put a number down. He said, so this is what I'm going to do. The secretary is going to get that number. I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to call them. I'm going to start this officially at 1:42 p.m. Now, if we're supposed to start at 1:30, you call me at 1:31. They're not there. They're not there. They're unreachable because, again, pay attention, no number. So all of this has to be recorded through a recorded line. They don't have a number. So when they did what? He found the number. Called them. And he came back and said, well, if they're not here to appear in this conversation, because we did it over the phone at 1:42, I'm just going to swear you in and we're going to start. So make a long story short, 1:42 came. He didn't swear me in till 1:45. He asked me about why did I feel as though I was terminated from my job, and I told him I did not have an answer for him. He let me know that I was being recorded and asked me everything that I told y'all. He said, what was the situation? The incident that they said about? He said, before I asked you about that, why did they say you left the job without permission? I said, well, thank God I was sitting at the table where I usually eat my lunch every day in front of the biggest camera ever. And I was instructed by the security guard to go to human resources to speak to the manager in human resources. He said, so you never left the building? No, sir. He said, talk to me about the incident. What is this about a gun? I said, this is because 2 months prior, there was an incident with the young man. Alcohol sometimes contributes to the way he acts. It's the second time he was talking about guns. I went and spoke to my plant operations manager after I was instructed by my supervisor to go talk to him about this incident because people felt as though that he was a little outrageous. I said, the plant operations manager made me go to human resources. He said, what was done with that? I said, all he said is it was going to be investigated. He said, what did he say after that? Nothing. He said, so fast forward to what happened on July 1st. I said, he walked up, began speaking some vulgarities. He said, did you engage with him? I said, not at first. I was in shock. I didn't have a chance to say anything to him because a gentleman by the name of Risky Humphreys, it automatically stood in front of him and asked him what was wrong with him because he was acting a little crazy. I said, then I was instructed to go to my operations manager, like I just told you. And when I expressed to my operations manager how I was feeling uncomfortable, being a grown man at that, now see, I'm following the rules. Being a grown man at that, I got to keep talking to another grown man about how I keep having to feel uncomfortable about another grown man. And if I grab him or do something to him, I'm going to lose my job. But if y'all are in human resources and you're paying attention to the cameras and actually what happened, he would have been gone. If you were doing your work, if you were doing your due diligence as far as the point system, because we're allowed 8 points. If you miss a day, you got to work 28 days straight for that point to get off. If you work 14 days straight, a half a point comes off. But if you work 28 days and you got a point, it comes off. See, that's why they feel as though that should be something fair. Because if you got 8 points, you know what I'm saying? If you got somebody that's coming to work every day, even if they got to take a day sometimes, when it comes to them being a work and being an employee, after a year, you know they start getting holiday pay. So then he says, can I ask you something? I said, what's that? He said, what was your job title? I said, I was a machine operator. He said, what was you in charge of? I said, I was responsible for spinning combos on a machine, making combos for the distribution of chicken. He said, tell me about your job. I said, I love my job. I said, at first, when I first got over there, it was a little crazy because that was a known area for people to congregate. I said, but once I got to the fact or got people familiar with the fact where I didn't need any assistance or any crowds around me, my job was gravy. He said, let me ask you something. Were you ever wrote up? I said, no, sir. He said, were you ever suspended for any type of misconduct? I said, I've never been suspended for anything. I said, actually, for the first time in my life, I could say I was a model citizen. I said, this is the same company that just sent me away to another state for a company that they just bought that ensured that certain employees was doing their job efficiently. He said, so why do you feel as though you was terminated? I said, for following the rules. He asked me my address. I gave him my address. He said, well, I'm going to make my decision today. He said, tomorrow, which was yesterday, he said, go to your unemployment portal and you'll see what's based on my decision. Have a good day. And I told him have a good day, and I told him appreciate it for hearing me. The next morning, I had to wait past 12 o'clock. Unfortunately, the whole system was down. I spoke to somebody personally. The lady said the whole system was down from where she was at. It was back up by 3 o'clock. When I called in, your boy got his case. I won the case. And they had to give me a couple of dollars. That's a cold-blooded fact. Yo, Plaga, salute, boy. Look at how God work. Look at how God work. Look at how God work. Your boy won his case. You dig what I'm saying? East New York said, God said it wasn't denied, it was delayed. My grandmother said, God will stress you. Then God will test you. Then God will bless you. That's a fact. Glory to God on that. Alhamdulillah. That's a fact. God will stress you. God will bless you. Excuse me. God will stress you. God will test you. God will stress you out to the fact where you have to really just pay attention to everything around you. He'll take everything from you. Because everything that you put in front of God, he is going to take in front of you. Whether you want to admit it or not, everything you put in front of God, that comes from your mother, your father, your woman, your man, your children. Let's put that on top of everything. Music, your fashion, your clothes, how you look, your vanity. Seriously, like when you put certain shit over God, that nigga will take that shit the fuck away from you. You think you're in love, and God be like, if it wasn't for me, how do you even know what love is? Why you not thanking me for giving you what you appear to be as love? Maybe it's not love. Maybe I'm just sending something to you to see if you're going to go off your divine self instead of lustful things. I'm giving you examples to certain people. They might not be trusted. Are you going to take it upon yourself to go subconscious? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to take it upon yourself? Yep. Hello? Hello? That's a fact, y'all. Yep. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Yep. Y'all can hear me? All right, I'm back. Mr. I think of myself said, when dealing with the Most High, everyone gets a turn. Just be patient. My man Chief said, yo, I'm glad you won. Treat yourself to a country fried steak, baby, on a Belgian waffle and a side of French fries, cranberry juice on ice from IHOP. Very disrespectful, brother. And you know that's my spot. I'm there. You know that's my spot. And that's my spot. That's what my grandparents took me from when I was a little boy, when it was called the International House of Pancakes. I was going there when my grandmother and them was going to the bank to Chase, and they was going to Walmart on Ralph Avenue and Avenue R back in the days. Real facts. 1-2, Freddie, I see you in the building. Thank you. I appreciate you, Freddie. I appreciate you. That was nothing but God. That's a cold-blooded fact. That was nothing but God. But you know what? I tell people, as long as we doing, you only get a turn if you believe. That's a cold-blooded fact, because the stress gonna bring the test. The stress gonna bring the test. I'm talking about, yo, oh Lord, I'm not gonna tell y'all the things that be in my head, y'all. I'm not gonna tell you nothing, man. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. Shout out to Team Guardian. I'm not gonna tell you nothing, man. The stress is gonna prepare you for the test. See, the stress is gonna put you so motherfucking out of it. It's gonna be like God gonna sit back and be like, what you got to say about me now, pussy? That's what God do. He take everything. He say, what you got to see? See me, forgive me, y'all. I know everybody have their way of talking to God and the Most High. This is how me and God kick it. This is how me and the Most High kick it. It's like me and him talk. I'm talking to the super OG of OGs. Word up. That's a fact. That's a fact. Boy, you know, some of y'all need to go. You know what you need to do? You need to help yourself. You need to help yourself with a goldfish account. That's what you need to do. Help yourself with a goldfish account. You understand? Okay, well, back to what I was saying. When you put God first, I'm telling you, everything comes across. Everything comes across right. Everything comes across right. The crazy part is, I didn't want that child to lose his job. I just prayed to God that he got the fuck away from me. You dig it? I just prayed to God that he got the fuck away from me. Some people just not supposed to be around each other. They allowed him to run around and just do things that I didn't understand. But then again, once I found out the relationship with him and one of the supervisors, and then like I said, he was a little off. The kid, I told him, I said the way he used to drink, whatever else he was fucking with, I said, yo, he's a little off, man. He's a little off. He's a little off, man. And these are the type of kids you got to pray for. And they said his grandfather's a cool dude. You dig what I'm saying? A cool dude. A cool dude. But it's like sometimes when you raise your kids with too much motherfucking giving and not them earning, they turn out to be very, very ungrateful. They turn out to be adults that just continuously think everything is supposed to be given to them and it's supposed to go their way. And that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. My faith stay in God, the Most High. Any way you want to see it. From Allah, Christianity, Buddhist, any type of way that is talking about something that's righteous, that ain't got nothing to do with no sin, I salute you. Because, see, that's why I was so hesitant about certain things. But at least, like they say, like in being a Muslim, God will not punish you for what you do not know. Like God won't punish you for what you know. Allah won't punish you for much. But once you know something, like you can't get punished for not knowing right from wrong. But once you know right from wrong and you still proceed in doing wrong, oh, Allah's punishment is so dangerous. Alhamdulillah, that's like Allah's, boy, Lord have mercy. And it's like, and it all falls back into arm, leg, arm, surprise, and head. Like when you go against God, you go against yourself. Beginning with your spirituality. Once you start doubting faith, and then things like temptation, depression, lack of motivation, worryation, you know, all type of like they say, like of doing divine is to be divine, of doing of evil is to dwell in evil. I heard the rapper say the other day that Allah don't like music. And the interviewer was like, what do you mean Allah doesn't like music? Manny Fresh, one of the Manny Fresh producers, he was like, Allah don't like music. And he was like, so what you supposed to do? He said, you're supposed to pray. He said, you're supposed to study. Supposed to stay on your deen. Anything that's tempting you away from doing right is wrong, y'all. That's simple and plain. Anything that's tempting you to do other than righteousness is wrong. See, like some people like to peek in and be like, well, I ain't go to the party. Like, I ain't go to the party, but you was outside in the parking lot. You still gonna get judged for that. Some people say, well, you know what? I was just looking. I was just outside. I wasn't inside. But if you knew what the eternal, which is the inside of the party, consists of, and you knew what type of attraction that lured, like a lot of wild behavior. Like people say, well, I want to go. I would go to a celebrity's party. Hypothetically speaking, I would go to a Puff Daddy's party. They'll say, but I ain't going to them rooms. Yeah, I do want to go to a Puff Daddy giveaway, but I don't want to go into the houses. But if you understand what type of description is put on those type of celebrity parties, a bunch of wild sex, drugs, you know what I'm saying? Woodstock, Anything that you could think of, you could probably be seen. All type of sacrifices and crazy stuff allegedly. But you still go to that party. Something about you is attracted of that evil, because when you go there and say you didn't go in Puffy's house, but you was outside at the pool, you still was there because you was hoping to find a spirit that was either on your vibration or lower than your vibration that you could probably manipulate, whether it's a woman saying that she going to catch a ball player or she going to catch a rapper. You dig what I'm saying? Or it's a dude going saying he's going to catch a female producer or a female stylist, or a dude that just saying he going to a party because he know it's going to be some women there of some importance. Like he don't want to go in the Puff parties, but he want to be there where Puff and him is at because he want to rub shoulders. It's the same damn thing, y'all. It's the same thing. And once you humble yourself to the fact where you be like, you know what? I don't even care what they doing. Oh, I got a totally different discipline for me starting the new year too. I'm working on it now. But I got a totally discipline that I'm gonna start working on within myself, that I gotta show and prove within myself. It ain't, see, that's where I started fucking up. I started getting back to what everybody was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Anything of support, I understand, and anything of correction, I openly hearted will accept. Because if y'all see me doing something wrong, y'all gotta correct me on it. Because if I don't have no correction on it, or if nobody don't bring it to my attention, I'm gonna go with the fact that I'm doing something right. But when it starts getting to the fact where I don't need y'all no more to tell me, in my heart, I know what's right and wrong. I think that's when people get at peace. I think when it's good to have support system to you, because a bunch of us are stubborn. I'm stubborn. And sometimes because of deep emotional hurt or disappointment within people, we might start saying things that we don't mean or getting upset. But then we start thinking about certain, if your heart is not accepting that. I was talking to Dog about that the other day when they had the old pictures of Jesus Christ. If you look at the old pictures of Jesus Christ, he had a complexion of a Hispanic man. All right, boom. Then you look at certain pictures of Jesus Christ, he had the complexion of a pale white man. Then you look at certain pictures of Jesus Christ, you dig what I'm saying? You have a picture of a black man. Then you have certain people that favor more what their religion or what their culture is. But if you pay attention, the biggest and the most important part of the picture of Jesus Christ was, it wasn't about his color. They had his chest open and his heart illuminated because of the purity of his heart. His heart. See, when like they said, when Jesus walked the earth, he just wanted to tell the people about how good it felt to have a heavenly mindset. How if we didn't let certain things like worrying about finances, because you know that's when the Jews and all that started going against him, because they said he was fucking up the money and all that, and he was switching it up when he was telling people it was a better belief than what they was trying to put with the Romans and XYZ. Now, when you get it right within your heart, man, everything else falls in line. You dig? So shout out to everybody that came through to find out what was the outcome. The outcome is God is always going to win. And if you're a child, of God, I'm going to say it one more time. Y'all need to put that in the chat. If you're a child of God, you're going to win. Peace. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding.
man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist with it. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?